And here we are, Horselick Review,
Episode 7. We totally knew it, too.
We did. We didn't have to go back and look anything. No, we're fine, dude.
Yeah. Professionals.
So, we'll go ahead and get started real quick today. Actually, I'm going to ask you how you've been doing, Jake. How have you been?
Slowly going insane.
Slowly going insane?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little? That's okay. We're all slowly going insane, I think. So I'll start things off with a nice little story about Californian. This is from the Associated Press. This is my source. I'm quoting here. Californian passes state bar exam at age 17 and is sworn in as an attorney.
Which right there sounds like a fucking 80s TV. It's like Doogie Howser, but of the law.
Yeah, Biz was saying that, like Doogie Howser, whatever their title is.
Or it sounds like a... It sounds like a fucked up porn. Nearly legal expert.
Nearly legal. Yeah, it says
go to the dark web to find that one.
It's in Visalia, California. County prosecutor's office says one of its law clerks passed the state bar at 17. I don't know what other detail. There's not much other detail except there's a kid who's legally a lawyer. And what was his name? Did you get his name?
Doogie Howser.
Oh, yes. No, it's Peter Park.
Peter Park?
Yes.
That's too close to, like, Spider-Man's
I know.
name.
Yeah.
That's like Spider-Man.
He's in real life.
Drop the ER and then it's like, you know what, Daredevil, this lawyering ain't hard.
Yeah, I'm going to take over at that.
All right, dude, would you trust a 17-year-old, like, in a legal case? Like, are you hiring a 17-year-old lawyer? You can be like, listen here, you little shit.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to meet him, hang out with him a bit and see.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is he just passed it, so you don't know if he's that good yet. I mean, sure, he'll get good with experience, but... okay, are you going to take a lawyer who's... It's their first case?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, it depends how desperate I am.
Say you got money. Cash is not, like, it's not really... I can't say money's no object, because then you're going to buy the best attorney you can. But say it's...
If I had the money for, like, a decent lawyer, I'd probably take one that it's not his first case.
Yeah, but let's say you're not super strapped for cash, but you're getting a first-time attorney. Now, you got a 17-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 35-year-old, and a 40-year-old. Who are you going with?
I don't know. It's also, like, probably one of the older guys, definitely. But it'd also depend on what I'm on trial for.
Yeah, see, I was about to say that could be the thing, because I don't want, like, a 40-year-old, like, trying to describe, like, anything that has to do with, I guess, any sort of pop culture in the last 20 years.
Yeah. All right, what do you got next? We just thought that was...
Robbery suspect's colorful underwear helped police arrest him, authorities say.
Who's this from?
This is from the AP, the Associated Press. A pair of multicolored briefs peeking out above a robbery suspect's low-slung trousers helped police arrest him more than a year later, federal authorities in New York said Wednesday. The robbery happened at a tobacco shop in Queens on September 14th, 2022. 3 masked men got out of a Mazda and entered the store, according to a complaint filed in federal court last week. 2 of the men pointed guns at employees and customers, while a third emptied the cash register and grabbed merchandise and employee cell phones. The complaint said the robbers fled in the Mazda.
I'm waiting to hear what the underwear...
Yeah, that's when it's not very long, so hold on. Oh, shit, maybe it is. Surveillance videos showed that the third robber was wearing brightly colored briefs with a large letter R in white and the year 1990 in yellow. Do you think his mom put, like, the R for his name? Yeah, wait.
So, but...
All right, hold on. An anonymous tipster passed along the Instagram handle of the suspect with the colorful underwear. The complaint said the caller also told police that the robbers had tried to sell their stolen merchandise at another Queens location. What were you going to ask, dude?
Oh, just like how they tracked him down. They tracked his underwear down.
I'm looking for that. Let's see. The detectives reviewed video footage from the sale location, spotted the man with the colorful underwear, now easily identifiable because he was no longer wearing a mask. The complaint said...
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go. Police identified the suspect based on his Instagram account, the video from the merchandise sale spot, and photos from prior arrests. So,
does he wear those underwear all the time?
Does that mean he was wearing the same damn underwear when he sold it? Did they instantly take their masks off? All right, let's go fence this shit.
Apparently.
Or like he's like, or was it like, all right, dude, the heat's died down. We've waited till exactly a week later, and I'm back on Tuesday, my yellow R underwear day, because I've got 7 pairs. I got my Tuesday pair on. The 30-year-old suspect was arrested Wednesday morning at his home in Queens by members of a New York Police Department Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Man, you know, those guys are known for not fucking shit up.
This is a good one. I haven't heard one in a long time of somebody doing something that dumb and getting caught. Like, I'm sure it's still happening all the time.
It had to be pretty dumb if the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco and Fire, you know, the guys that brought you Waco, fucking got anything right. But that's pretty much the other two. That's pretty much it. Except for the other 2 robbery suspects are still at large. Authorities said, because you know
they'll find them.
They
soon.
probably have more than 7 pairs of underwear.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
My next one comes from NPR.org, and it's about a rat plague.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, rats are plaguing Australia apparently. In a
so is this
coastal town called Karumba.
So is
it's
this
a coastal town of Queensland?
A rat plague like the Middle Ages, or a rat plague like in the 80s?
Just plaguing them. Not like the rat band. No.
So this isn't.
This
about,
is
like,
better than that.
This isn't round and round.
Round and round. This is a better plague than that.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate or love rat. So,
don't at me, Steve Piercy.
It's in Queensland, small town, coastal town in Queensland, Australia, and hordes of rats are invading, chewing on electrical cords and eating everything in sight. And they said the cause is because they've had a lot of rainfall, and it's caused all the vegetation to grow like a lot more healthy than usual. Okay. So it's drawn all these rats in. Or what kind of rats?
Yeah, rats.
Long-haired rats. That's what they call them.
Yeah, rats known for eating like healthy shit, you know.
Well, these apparently do. They're eating everything. I mean, they're eating people's electrical cord.
Well.
So, but it says, what else did it say? It said not to mention thousands are washing up on the shores, creating a terrible stench, like just washing up dead. Like they're like, because it says one of the scientists said that they can produce up to 12 young every 3 weeks.
So the rats are gorging themselves and then going swimming, and like the old wives' tales, getting cramps and drowning and dying.
I don't know, dude, but like the population has obviously boomed, and because one, the food, and then how quickly they can reproduce.
So it's not really like a plague that's brought on by the rats. It's like a rat infestation.
Yeah, it's a plague infestation.
It's an infestation.
Infestation, not plague like disease.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess they could carry some disease, but
no, rats are clean.
It's rolled over into other towns, parts of Queensland as well, and it says that like carcasses are just washing up in clumps on the shores and like at the seawalls and stuff. It's just like dead rats everywhere. Like
Clump Carcass, new album name, calling it
Clump Carcass. It's good. But there was one the other day. Oh man, what was it? I was like, that's a band name. Shit. I wish I could remember it now, and I can't. Anyway, yes. So right now, Queensland, Australia is overrun with rats. Apparently. There's not much more to say about that. I'm not going to get into the
nitty gritty.
I'm not going to get into all the details. Like this part, like an army, the mass of rats also has a very effective and literal force multiplier, because talking about being able to reproduce, 12 young in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Over and over and over. But so I'm good there. I just wanted to tell you about the rat plague. I bet it's the Rat King.
From like the Nutcracker?
No, the Rat King from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Playing his flute and shit, man.
The listeners can decide whose reference was more classy.
Yours was definitely more classy. Mine was cool.
Yeah. Fair.
What do you got next?
Drug lords go on killing spree to hunt down corrupt officers who stole shipment in Mexico's Tijuana.
Oh, damn.
So, this is also the Associated
Shit's
Press.
always going on down there, man.
A recent killing spree in the Mexican border city of Tijuana could have been lifted from a TV script. Enraged drug lords hunting down corrupt police officers who stole a drug shipment.
They stole it or they got busted and took it in?
No. Well, dude, that shit happens, man. Like, there's literally, they're...
Or they just took it for themselves.
Hire...
That just makes it sound like they took it for themselves.
Well, they probably did, because there's a lot of corrupt police. It's a big problem in Mexico with corrupt police. In fact, like, bribery is a big thing down there.
So these are...
I never.
But these are like corrupt police, because they're not corrupted by the cartel. They're just corrupt in that they're going to steal the cartel's drugs.
Gang.
Yeah,
like the United States.
Yeah,
but no, man, because I never had the money to go on like one of those trip to Mexico things, like when that Spanish class would offer you in like high school or whatever. Yeah. But I do remember the teachers talking about, oh yeah, no, you've got to bribe people. We have to hire people down there to like deal with traffic stops and stuff like that, and give them money so we can go about our business.
Yeah. I'd be afraid, like, things, I mean, in certain places, I'm sure it's fine, but, like, over the years, all this, like, tell of, like, which I know it's a problem, like, kidnapping people for ransom, it's big business down there, but, like, it's made me completely paranoid of ever going on a trip down there, because they see somebody, and they could just assume that you're worth some money. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. See, I'm not worried about it at all, because I know what I look like. I look like somebody they want to sell their shit to. You know what I mean? There is no doubt about it. They see me, they're not thinking, oh, that dude's got money. That's not happening.
That dude's dad is a congressman.
Yeah. If they see me, they're like, I could sell that dude some weed, and they're probably right.
Yeah. Well,
like,
go to Mexico then. You'll probably have a good time.
Not worried about it at all. But anyway, 2 of the officers suspected of the theft have been killed, prosecutors say, but so have at least 3 other officers, according to the city's former police chief, suggesting the cartel believed to have owned the drugs may have launched a generalized retribution. It is the latest blow for Tijuana, which has the most homicides of any city in Mexico. Now that's a little surprising to me, because I would have thought Mexico City might have had the most.
I thought it used to be. I thought everybody talked about the extreme crime in Mexico City compared to everywhere else.
Well, see, I guess it's twofold there, because I know Mexico City's got a lot of corruption, but if you like see pictures of Mexico City, it's very like modern looking, cosmopolitan. Yeah. Like it's got all of the amenities of pretty much any big city. I'm sure the police force is still absolute dog shit trash, but I think there's probably like well-to-do. There's pockets of larger cities where you don't have to worry about shit. I imagine that's the case in Mexico City too. But let's see. With about double the number, hold on. Most homicides of any city in Mexico, with about double the number of the place that comes second. Oh, okay, that's a weird way to say that. The border city of Ciudad Juarez, Tijuana, situated in situated in the border of Baja California, and with a population of over 2.1 million, has for several years seen around 2,000 murders annually. By comparison, Houston, Texas, which is about the same population, saw 435 killings in 2022. But
so these guys are just after these cops, and they're like
essentially
doing like coordinated attacks and acts of terrorism, which they would call them these days, even though. Yeah.
Well, what we got here, let's see. According to prosecutors, in mid-November, a half-dozen local and state police officers in Tijuana allegedly hatched a plot to steal a large shipment of drugs from a warehouse where traffickers were storing it.
Oh,
Video emerged last week of the officer's pickup truck pulling out of the building with big plastic wrapped bales of cocaine filling the truck bed.
Damn, bales of cocaine? They had a party.
State prosecutor Maria Elena Andrade confirmed this week that 3 state detectives were under investigation in the case, along with a similar number of Tijuana municipal police. Alberto Capella, the former head of Tijuana. Yeah, I like saying it.
You're getting these names. You're nailing these names.
Dude, I like the Spanish accent, man.
I do too.
When it comes to like, dude, especially like Spanish announcers, like because they get that deep voice. You're like, sábado, 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 trocas de monstruo está Estados Unidos, which is like I can't speak Spanish very well, but that was essentially, let's see, Sunday, 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 trucks of monster in the United States. But anyway, Alberto Capella, the former head of Tijuana's police force from 2007 to 2008, and again from 2011 to 2013, he took a sabbatical. He
took a sabbatical.
Had to find himself.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about that. Now I'm losing concentration because I'm thinking about all those like Laredo Kid and matches and stuff I've watched with the cool ass wrestling announcers.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dude, Lucha Libre is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, there was a time period there, man. Sorry to get off track, but like, I would sit on YouTube and just watch the Mexican Lucha Libre matches of like I said, Laredo Kid and what's his name, the one that was super popular,
Mil Mascaras, Blue Demon.
Well, yeah, all those, but there was another one that I was watching a lot. Along with Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid's fucking cool as hell too, but like, yeah. So I just got like distracted. I started thinking about all that Lucha Libre wrestling. It's fun as hell.
But anyway, he told the Associated Press that the cache of drugs appeared to have belonged to the Sinaloa cartel, specifically the wing controlled by drug lord Ishmael El Mayo, quotes El Mayo, Zambada. Probably the most powerful gang in town.
How many are there?
It doesn't say.
30 or 40?
Apparently the cartel knew almost immediately who had pulled off the heist. On November 18th, just hours after the theft, gunmen sprayed the federal prosecutor's office in Tijuana with at least 30 rounds, pockmarking the building facade. Damn. Within an hour, one of the municipal police officers allegedly involved in the heist was gunned down.
Well, if they stole my bales of cocaine, too, I'd probably be pretty pissed, too.
I'd be pretty pissed, too. Like, usually, they were going to commit crimes, too. So, I guess in this case, I'm on the drug dealer's side.
Well, I don't know. Whose side can you be on in that situation? They were just going to resell them, too. So, I don't know. And now they just started a war. It's made it worse on all the civilians.
Yeah, so you're proving my point. The drug dealers are right on
you probably should have just left it alone, yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, if they were just going to bust them, like, oh, look, we found these drugs.
Yeah, but different. They just went in there. They snuck in and stole them.
Yeah. Because they wanted to profit off.
And the police didn't think about surveillance.
Yeah, and like the criminals aren't, the criminals, they're going to do heinous shit. There's no bones about it. They're doing heinous shit. The cops are doing it under the protection of the law. That's it. That's enough of that one. Okay. There's a ton more, but it doesn't matter. Let's go to the next one.
Unnecessary details?
Yeah.
We got the gist. The cops stole a bunch of cocaine from the cartel. Now shit's going down. Okay, the next several of mine. I got some morbid stuff going on.
All right.
A lot of murder. Covering murders. We haven't had a whole lot of murder cases lately, so more lighthearted, really just weird shit lately. So I figured I'd bring at least 4 cases of murder in this week. So for this time, we're not doing weekly.
Have you solved these cases, Nathan?
I've solved them all in my head. In my dreams. Now, the first one I would go with is, it's a little bit comical, but, no. Sorry. I brought up the wrong one here. Okay. A DC man at age 85 allegedly killed his wife because he, quote, did not want to eat the pancakes she made for breakfast. This is from the New York Post.
Don't see any of these pancakes.
An elderly DC man stabbed his wife to death.
I've had enough, Lorraine. I told you I don't like pancakes.
It's like not funny, but
I'm
funny.
A waffle man. Like this is a Waffle House.
Yes, he didn't want to eat the pancakes she made for him. Officials announced Friday. Steven Schwartz, 85, allegedly plunged a carving knife.
Yeah.
That's a big-ass knife. Into his 81-year-old wife, Sharon Hilda. What the hell?
Sorry.
You can't be playing your porn right in the background while I'm trying to read this article.
The other article that was loaded.
But okay.
To play a video.
Yeah, he plunged the carving knife in his 81-year-old wife, Sharon Hilda Schwartz. His back. In the back. Stabbed her in the back, dude. He wasn't even man enough to, like, go at her.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to draw a line in the sand, you should face forward when you stab your wife.
This is back in their northwest D.C. home Sunday after he tried pushing the sweet breakfast item on him. She tried pushing the sweet breakfast item on him to help him gain weight, according to a federal criminal complaint.
You're gonna eat these pancakes, you skinny piece of shit.
And then he says, this is a quote from Mr. Schwartz here. I killed her. Oh, my Lord. I don't remember it. It was a crazy fight. Schwartz allegedly said this while sitting in the back of a police cruiser. The accused killer told detectives he had lost up to 50 pounds during a recent hospital stay due to physical and psychiatric disorders, and that Sharon was trying to get his weight back up. I mean, isn't that what your loving wife should do? Like, I would assume, right? I mean, they're just trying to get your health back. You were in the hospital.
I get that, but we're also glossing over the psychiatric disorders.
This is true.
Which might be the reason for the stabbing.
It says here that Schwartz described his wife as a bit of a taskmaster.
Like
so she could watch whatever she wanted. She would learn the skills.
Yeah.
So like she didn't know how to make pancakes until that day.
Yeah.
Like she looked it up and immediately she just did it instantly. Because she's Taskmaster.
No one's going to get that reference.
That's okay. I don't really care.
No one watched Black Widow, which is a shitty version of the Taskmaster.
Taskmaster was in Black Widow?
Oh, dude, it was awful.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It was awful. Don't
even tell me about it.
Yeah, it's not the way it should have been. The helmet gives her her powers. Because Taskmaster's a her.
I mean, but he did admit... Oh, okay. He did admit it that she was doing it because she loved him so much that she wanted him to be well. And she wanted her
Did
partner
she not die?
And protect her back.
Did she not die?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
How'd they get this information then? How is she saying this?
He said this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he accused. Oh wait, sorry. He described his wife as a bit of a taskmaster.
Okay,
but admitted she was doing this because she loved him and that she just wanted him to get his health back and her protector back, partner and her protector back, which she pushed the pancakes on him after learning he wasn't planning to eat breakfast because he had eaten a quarter of a Krispy Kreme donut the day before. So that's all he had eaten in a day. I mean,
well, hey, if she had tried to force him to eat Krispy Kreme donuts, which apparently he likes, maybe she wouldn't have got stabbed.
So the next thing he heard was a plate crashing against the wall. I guess when he refused to eat them, and it sparked a deadly argument. That's when Schwartz allegedly grabbed a carving knife from a butcher's block and sank it into Sharon's back.
Yeah, that's fucked.
The neighbors heard her screaming, and he said, I stabbed her, then I stabbed myself, reportedly told his son before handing over a knife. And when police arrived, Schwartz had grabbed hold of another knife and was holding it against his abdomen, documents claim.
Because he wanted to dig those shitty pancakes out.
I don't think he ever ate them. I think they got thrown against the wall when he refused them.
Oh, he needed to
I think he either threw them or she did.
Okay, he needed to get that quarter of a Krispy Kreme donut out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that whatever psychiatric problems he was having really played into this, plus malnourishment or not eating. Like, when you don't eat properly for a while, I mean, it causes you, like, weird, your faculties in your brain to kind of
He's not him when he's hungry.
Yeah, and plus he was already having, obviously, some problems if he was hospitalized for psychiatric stuff. And then I'm getting all these ads for Baki the Grappler fucking jiu-jitsu gear because I looked at it once a week ago. Okay, go ahead.
All right, from UPI.com. Lost tomato found aboard International Space Station after 8 months. Members of an International Space Station crew said astronaut Frank Rubio has now been cleared of allegations he ate one of the first tomatoes harvested in space. NASA astronaut Jasmine Mogbelli said during a live-streamed event celebrating the 25th anniversary of the station that the remains of the tiny tomato had been found 8 months after being misplaced by Rubio.
So he only took a bite of it?
Well, supposedly didn't eat it all, but like, can you imagine being in space and it's like, we grew that fucking tomato. You ate that fucking you were the last one with the tomato, bro.
What'd you do with it?
Yeah, what'd you do with it?
It reminds me of Rocket Man. You remember that movie with Harlan Williams?
Yeah.
He eats all the good food.
Yeah.
The only thing that's left is like toothpaste and like Brussels sprouts, or I don't remember what it was. It was like something gross. But that to them, I like Brussels sprouts personally. For the record.
Here we go. Here's the quote: "Our good friend Frank Rubio, who headed home already, so they sent his ass home. You tomato eating bitch, go back to Earth. Fuck you."
You ate the one tomato we grew in space.
Has been blamed for quite a while for eating the tomato, but we can exonerate him. We found the tomato. Belly said.
Oh, so it didn't have a bite out of it or anything?
Oh man, I hope he's sending like the shittiest fucking texts and stuff to them. Oh, yeah,
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you.
I told you, son of a bitch.
I don't even like tomatoes.
What is the line in I just thought about Samurai Cop. I told you, sons of how does he say it? He says it really fucking dumb. You son of a bitches or something like that.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
Son of a bitches?
Rubio, who returned to Earth in September in shame, had been the target of joking accusations for months that he had eaten the space-grown fruit. It's like, I don't know.
Talk
sure that
about
was a
really
joke,
being
dude.
betrayed by your fellow astronauts.
I spent so many hours looking for that thing, Rubio said during a September ISS live stream. I'm sure the desiccated tomato will show up at some point and vindicate me years in the future. And he was right.
He's laughing.
Yeah, he
He's
should
sitting
be.
home laughing right now.
He should be laughing his ass laughing his ass off all the way back to the space station. The astronauts did not reveal where the tomato was found. Probably in like the loudest accuser's room.
Probably.
Yeah. Or what its condition was.
So it just fell off and rolled somewhere, and they just found it?
It floated somewhere, I imagine. The astronauts did not reveal where the tomato was found or what its condition was, but Rubio had early predicted
Space.
it would be in a state of advanced decay due to the humidity aboard the station.
Advanced decay?
Yeah, he's a fucking astronaut, man. He's not like a fucking gardener, as far as I know. What's he saying? Advanced decay. How does he know this? Is he a botanist?
Who cares?
All right, but that's the end of that story. For now, I hope there's an update on the tomato story, though. Like, I want this dude to seek vengeance.
Okay. My next one also comes from the New York Post. I have several from the New York Post this week. This time around.
Is this about space fruit?
No, this is about murder.
Oh, okay. Is it about space murder?
This one, no. Unfortunately, that one made it a little bit more entertaining
Oh, dude, I'm ready.
and not just disgusting.
I'm telling you, man. Like, that's why
It'll happen.
That's why I don't want to go to Mars.
It'll happen in about the next 30 years.
That's why I don't want to go to Mars, dude. The first colony is doomed because somebody wants to be the first Martian murderer.
Probably.
And I don't care how many the battery of psychological tests they put them through. It doesn't fucking matter. Somebody wants to be Space Kane. Because that guy's name will live
somebody will just lose their shit, too. Like,
dude, it's not even that. There's somebody who's plotting that shit. So I'm going to fucking Mars. I'm going to be the first man to murder somebody on a different planet. It's happening.
Well, let's go ahead and go into this murder that already happened before we go into our hopes for space murder. Okay, New York Post reports on this. Dad who drowned his 3 kids to spite his estranged wife pleads guilty. If I can't have them, neither can you. So he was quoted that he sent her a text, I think it was, yes. An Illinois dad who wrote his estranged wife that if I can't have them, neither can you, before murdering their 3 young children.
It's a pretty extreme way to get out of child support.
Yeah, and he says he's pleaded guilty to the slayings, though he insists he was suffering from mental illness. I was so distraught I didn't know what I was doing when I was strangling each of my children one by one. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was strangling. But yeah, Jason Carls, 36 of Round Lake Beach, will be sentenced to life. He got life behind bars without the possibility of parole. after the defendant pleaded guilty but mentally ill to 3 counts of first-degree murder. So these are also kind of good stories too, because I think all the ones I have,
they're open and shut.
They've gotten what they deserve at least. He drowned his 5-year-old son, and his 3-year-old, and he drowned them all. Drowned all 3 of them in the bathtub back in 2022.
It's this type of shit that makes kids not want to take baths.
Yeah, the mom found the bodies at their home, where police said he left a note reading, "If I can't have them, neither can you." So he left a note. It wasn't a text. Sorry, I think I said text earlier. I just assumed because everybody texts everybody one of these days. Look at this asshole. If anybody has...
Murder's personal, dude. You can't just text about a murder.
If anyone is listening, this guy's name is... what was it again? Jason Karls. Karels. Look this guy up. Look at this fucker. Doesn't he just make you want to punch him in the face?
He does. He looks like an asshole.
He's got a really punchable face. It looks like he's wearing shirtless, but wearing some kind of body armor. Remember they were afraid transporting him, somebody would shoot his ass?
It looks like he's wearing body armor fashioned after the original host of Blue's Clues shirt.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, so thankfully this guy...
Oh God, there's pictures of the kids.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, thankfully he got life in prison without the possibility of parole. So I guess, I mean, you can't get much better than that, except for maybe death penalty, depending on how you feel. Some people feel, some people feel differently about that. But anyway, yeah, that's that one. So it was a little bit of a downer. You got one?
Yep, it's gonna seem
like a fucking party compared to that.
Yeah, because it's doesn't really matter. 220-ton Nova Scotia building moved using 700 bars of soap.
You think that's how the ancient Egyptians
Oh shit!
moved the rocks?
I never really thought about
moves
that.
The stones for the pyramids?
Did they have soap?
I don't know.
I know that
they were pretty clean people compared to like most civilizations, right?
I think one of their contraceptives. I think one of their contraceptives was like crocodile dung. So I don't know how that would work using crocodile shit to prevent pregnancy. I don't know if that meant they
Nile
stuffed a little
Nile
bit of
crocodiles.
shit.
They went and grabbed Nile crocodile shit.
Yeah, that was
How'd you like to be that guy?
Oh, the dude who's getting like shit for the pharaoh,
Who's going
so
out,
he can fuck
going
his
out in the
mistresses?
river to collect crocodile shit, and most likely being eaten by crocodiles.
It's probably not the river. He just waits till they get they just fucking fart on some
Nile
sand.
crocodiles are huge, bro.
Yeah, but you can still wait till they poo on fucking solid earth.
Do you think they do? They don't shit in the water all the time?
I don't know. I would imagine they shit everywhere.
Anybody that listens out there, send us an email to horselikreview@gmail.com and let us know if crocodiles shit in the water, or if they come on land to take their dumps.
I'm just more... I just want to know how it works, the use of the crocodile dung. Do you, stuff into your urethra? Because that sounds horrible. Do you...
Either way, it seems fucking disgusting.
Do you pack the woman's vagina with it?
Do they turn it into something? Do they... I mean, you know how they were very elaborate.
They sunbake it into like a little helmet, like a little shit condom?
Maybe. I mean, look how elaborate they were with everything, with their embalming and their mummifying it. They probably did something really weird. We should look into that for the next episode.
How crocodile dung was used as a contraceptive?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe a whole episode on it.
And then we put a little piece of poopy in the pharaoh's chest. Oh, fuck, dude. Honestly, if you think about it, because they would leave, earthly things that the pharaoh might need in the afterlife.
Yep.
So the pyramids probably have some petrified crocodile shit, because they probably thought that the pharaoh's getting pussy in the afterlife.
Maybe.
Unless they didn't.
Good point.
Or Or did they? I don't know what the cosmology would be, but did they think that souls could impregnate other souls? And if you had a soul baby, like, would that be able to take like mortal form, or what would that
This
be?
feels like something I probably should have researched more before we discussed.
Like, how do you have soul? Like, if you're dead, but you're still gonna be like crushing ass, do you need contraception? Because again, how does a?
I'd say they
how does
didn't put it in there because you were in the afterlife.
Yeah, but since you're supposed to go to some sort of paradise, did they think there wasn't fucking in paradise?
No, I think they probably did, but you just didn't need contraceptives.
Yeah, because you weren't gonna get anything pregnant.
No, it's just fucking party, bro,
I guess.
to the end of fucking eternity.
Man, we really got off topic with this.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the article
Yeah,
was.
something about 700 bars of soap
Oh.
in a hotel. Oh, yeah. So Halifax's Elmwood building, which was built as a home in 1826 and converted into the Victorian Elmwood Hotel in 1896, was slated for demolition in 2018, but was saved by a sale to Galaxy Properties, which announced plans to move the structure closer to the street and put it on a new foundation, so it could connect to a planned apartment building. The 220-ton building was successfully moved by a crew from S. Rushton Construction, which shared a time-lapse video of the move on Facebook. Let's see. The company said the Elmwood was pulled 30 feet across a steel frame by 2 excavators and a tow truck. Rushton said instead of using rollers, the team decided to use 700 bars of ivory soap to make the building glide across the frame. He said ivory soap is particularly soft, making for a smooth move.
Is that cheaper than using rollers? Seems like
maybe.
700 bars of Dove soap. Dove, was it?
No, ivory soap.
Ivory. Sorry, ivory.
Rushton said the Elmwood will be moved again in the near future once its new foundation is completed.
Are they always going to use soap?
I don't know, because that's the end of the article.
I need to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
If they're going to use it. How far did they move it?
I guess they just moved it closer. It was pulled 30 feet, so they moved a 220 building 30 feet with bars
220
of ton
building?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking awesome, actually. That's really cool.
And that's the end of that one.
Okay. Well, the next one I have is also from the New York Post. Accused Washington serial killer lured 4 recently rich victims to their deaths with promise of buried gold. Yes. So he was already sitting in jail from what I read of this. Richard Bradley Jr., 40, had been sitting in jail for one of his alleged slayings for 2.5 years when he's hit with 3 more murder charges over the past 2 weeks. And apparently, yes, he was initially charged for allegedly killing and burying 44-year-old Brandy Blake at the 160-acre game farm park in Auburn. He was charged for this in May of 2021. And while exhuming her body, authorities found nearby the remains of 3 others, which were later identified as Bradley's other victims: 36-year-old Emilio Maturin, Michael Goman, 59, and Goman's 31-year-old son, Vance Lakey, according to the court documents. All 4 were killed after they unwittingly fell for Bradley's demented scheme, and shortly after each had come into a substantial amount of money, prosecutors allege. So
he essentially, I know where buried treasure is, and people believed him.
I guess maybe it's weird. So it's like, yeah, it says Bradley reported told each he needed help digging up a stash of gold in the wooded area, killed them and pocketed whatever possessions they had on hand, as well as their cars, which he was seen driving in the days following their disappearances, which that's smart. Just drive.
Yeah, the fact that you're seen driving them. Like, I mean, if they had heavily tinted windows and you just drove them around so it looked like they were alive for a couple more days.
Yeah, it's like, it's all the way back to 2019. So I guess I always wondered, like, how many victims you would have to be considered serial killer. So I guess 4. But obviously 4 puts you in that category.
Mate, is it just more than 2?
Probably. Although he was skeptical, Maturin, the first victim, followed his accused killer to the large park in his brand new BMW and carrying a pound of heroin some meth, and $15,000 in cash, according to court documents.
We need something to slow him down, something to speed him up.
What the fuck? This guy came into money, and he was living it up, dude.
When I need to get going, I like to do the math. And when I need to take a nap, I like to do the heroin. So I know before I go dig up this gold with Mr. Bradley here, I'm gonna do this pound of heroin. Just get me relaxed.
But then when hot rails,
and then when I really need to start digging, I'll smoke this meth when I gotta get on that shovel work, and then
when I'm tired from all the murder, but I'm just too hyped up to go to sleep. I'm gonna shoot.
Oh, this is the victim.
Shoot a little bit of H.
all right.
And then the victim's like,
And then I'll bring this $15,000 just in case he has more heroin or meth I can buy while we're digging for the gold.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want any of the gold. I don't need my half. Why don't you just give me my half in heroin?
sorry to make fun of victims, but that's just fucking weird.
Well, now I can see why they believed that he knew where buried treasure was. Hell yeah, Goblin Man. You tell me where that shit.
But yeah, that was over a few years, I think. So, like...
He kept working?
The serial killer, these killings were over a few years.
But still, but that was always his game plan, is like, hey, I know where some buried treasures.
Yeah, and he was targeting people who just recently came into money. So he's, like, really paying attention, I guess, to people who win, like, lottery and shit like that, I guess. Yeah, he was also charged with arson, second degree, when he had offered a man $1,000 to set fire to the father and sons that he murdered SUV that was impounded.
Yeah.
So he also has a... yeah. He's not yet entered his plea for the new murder charges. But he has been... So, yeah, he's been charged. I don't think he's... Look at this guy. He seems very satisfied.
Yeah. I know where the bodies are buried, not with the treasure.
The gold's real, I tell you.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
Let's see. Another article from UPI. Oh. Pennsylvania neighborhood terrorized by free roaming cattle herd.
Oh, shit.
Residents of a Pennsylvania housing development said their yards and Christmas lights have been repeatedly damaged by a herd of free roaming cows. Locals in the Brookhaven neighborhood in Mars said the cows have made repeated visits to their homes, causing damage to yards, gardens, and holiday displays. They said the cows occasionally bring bulls along for the visit.
Eating and shitting everywhere.
Wait, they bring bulls along? Is this like a fucking cow orgy then?
No, they don't usually allow the bulls to come.
They're just kind of roaming the neighborhood, Ben Rathjen told Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. My neighbor across the street, one of the bulls was sleeping alongside where his vehicles were in his driveway. They're coming up in people's backyards. They're defecating everywhere.
It's a great voice, but these are Pennsylvania people. They probably don't sound like that.
Probably not. It doesn't matter. Neighbors said the cattle have been wandering in from a nearby farm for months. Let's see. I got a different person. My mulch beds were all torn up in the shrubbery. They were sampling them to see what they could eat. There was dirt and mulch all over the porch and so forth. And as you might imagine, there are quite a few piles of poop out there too, Donna Pahel told KATV. Yeah.
It was delicious. They were tasting my prize bushes.
Yeah, man, if a cow's eating your bush, that sounds like a whole other, that sounds like bestiality.
So who is the owner of these? Does it say who the owner is? And they don't even give a shit?
The farm's owner said several fences on his property were damaged by felled trees, allowing the cows to wander as they please.
And I just didn't feel like fucking fixing them, all right?
There's
a lot of work.
A fence. Yeah,
I gotta get something to pull the tree off the fence. I gotta buy more fencing. I gotta put it back up, and I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, it was an act of God. God wanted them cows to be roaming. Hey, that's free fertilizer. I am doing the neighborhood a favor. What you talking about?
Their yards are gonna look great come spring.
He said the crews were at the farm Thursday to make repairs. See, he couldn't be bothered. He had other people do that shit. You're right. Some neighbors said that they had been considering filing lawsuits against the owner of the cows. Adams Township does not have any local laws giving police authority to deal with the cows. But a meeting is scheduled for Monday to discuss a proposed ordinance.
Oh my god.
No authority. What kind of bullshit red tape bureaucracy is that? Whoa. I don't do cow law. I arrest people. Yeah, that's all that. I don't know, dude. The farmer just needs to send like every neighborhood or every neighbor who's you slaughtered one of the cows, and just fucking give them all steaks. They'll shut the fuck up. It's just poop.
Probably. All right, my next one, also from the New York Post. It's a sad, but at least the outcome of the trial is a kind of a positive. But a Florida man gets life in prison for killing prominent LGBTQ activist.
All right.
Former roommate of a prominent LGBTQ plus activist was sentenced to life in prison for his 2022 slaying, in which he strangled the victim to death and left his body in a dumpster in the apartment they once shared. Florida jury found Stephen R. Yinger, age 38, guilty of first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, grand theft of a motor vehicle, grand theft, and criminal use of a personal identification number on Friday in the death of Jorge Diaz Johnston, the brother of former Miami Mayor Manny Diaz. So, yeah. Prosecutors claim that Diaz Johnston, 54, let Yinger move into his Tallahassee apartment after meeting in an alcohol rehab program. But after Yinger stole his car and he found other items missing, Diaz Johnson urged him to move out in January of 2022. Diaz Johnson helped usher in the 2015 legalization of gay marriage in Florida, was found dead in a landfill in Baker, Florida, just days later. So he was stealing his shit,
yeah,
and being a douche after they'd taken him in. And since he kicked him out because he was stealing his shit, he's like, well, fuck that, I'm gonna kill this guy. Because that ain't right. I should be able to steal his shit and live in his apartment while living in his apartment from his goodwill.
We met in an alcohol rehab. He's just an alcoholic like I am. It's par for the course.
Yeah.
Is that a picture of the dude?
That's the killer, Stephen R. Yinger. People look him up.
Man,
he's a douche.
Every picture has been some real fucking winners, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, thankfully he got life in prison. I think without parole, it said. It just says life in prison. I don't know. Hopefully he would never get parole. It's a hate crime. And just bullshit. Guy was trying to help him out. He seemed like a nice guy there. Activist. Upstanding citizen. Helped, some good LGBTQ, and, legalizing.
Was it actually a hate crime, though? It wasn't like he was motivated because he was gay.
I don't know.
I think he was just motivated because the guy wouldn't let him steal his shit.
I'm assuming. I don't know which way.
Whoa. Are you holding me to account, fella?
Either way, it's bullshit. And too bad, sometimes you just really just want the death penalty when people don't get it, That's just me, though. Some people don't like the idea of the death penalty. But
I think the only time I don't mind it is that you have to 100% prove. You have to 100% prove that the dude did it.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Like if they admit
I'm not
guilt,
just saying don't just throw it around like Texas did with even special needs people and putting them to death. Texas did that for a long time.
But if you can't, that's the thing. That's why it should only be, if it's ever used, it should only be rare. Like it should not beyond reasonable doubt. It should be like fucking refutable.
Yeah.
Because the idea of the state executing, state's already executed too many fucking innocent people, and one's more than enough.
Yeah.
Deer breaks into elementary school, leads police on a chase. Another UPI article. December 5th, a deer broke into a New Jersey elementary school, and the ensuing chase through the hallways was caught on police body cameras. So if you look up the I'm pretty sure if you look up, you can find
The body cam footage?
the body cam footage on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh,
because it
sweet.
says the Toms River Police Department shared the video on Instagram showing officers conducting a foot chase with the four-legged trespasser. Oh, dude,
Awesome.
somebody needs to find that and just, like, dub in the Scooby-Doo runs. Like,
Or some Benny Hill?
yeah. But, yeah, like, showing officers conducting a foot chase with the four-legged trespasser inside Cedar Grove Elementary School. The deer, which had entered through a glass window, ended up in a classroom. Officers opened the rear door and guided their new furry friend to the exit, police wrote. The deer was last seen headed north. That's the end of that.
Nice. Well, and the last one I have here is, it's just, I got finally gotten away from the murder cases. Terrifier 3's filming.
Hell yeah.
Start window revealed by director and production update. Terrifier 3 gets an exciting filming update. This is from Screen Rant. From director Damien Leone after the horror sequel has already released its first teaser trailer, which anybody fans of Terrifier have probably already seen the Terrifier 3 trailer. People were already raising hell about it because it's like, oh, it depicted him killing a kid. I mean, it's fucking Art the Clown. I mean, be prepared. Don't watch it if you don't like it.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger wasn't a known child murderer.
Yeah, he didn't kill tons of kids. This is Terrifier 3, directed by Damien Leone, will begin filming in February of 2024. It's going to be set during Christmas time. It still features, obviously, Art the Clown unleashing terror on all the Miles County citizens. Leon said he's excited about the upcoming movie and is currently in pre-production, working on assembling the crew and finalizing the script. This is my, I'm not going to go into all this, this is just talking about the previous movies, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just wondering, because you know he's going to, and I'm very excited to see how he tops the bedroom scene from Terrifier 2. Because you know he's going to top himself. He has to.
Yeah.
But that scene completely topped everything in the first movie. That fucking overshadowed the gruesomeness of everything in the first movie.
I don't know, man. Like, it was really good, but I would still say the, like, you know, sawing the chick from her vagina down to her head was pretty up there. Like,
Yeah, it's up there.
That stacks. I don't think it completely, like, it's gruesome, but I don't think it completely overshadows that one.
I mean, you still remember it, but I mean, I told you about that, like, when it started, because I knew people had been in an uproar over that scene.
Yeah.
And, like, they left the theaters and throwing up and all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I'd heard that.
But, like, when I saw it, like, I expected it to be bad. And what was weird is I'd, like, seen things in other movies, like I told you, I think, last podcast, when Michael was with us. Yeah. I'd seen things in movies that are far less gruesome. And I'd be like, oh, like, you know, like, enjoy it, but be like, oh, kind of cringe. But this sent me into this weird state of just, like extreme laughter.
Yeah.
I guess because it was so extreme, and I wasn't I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't expect it to go on so long, I guess, and be so extreme.
I had, like, a similar reaction. Like, I was laughing quite a bit, because I watched it with my kid at, like, our movie theater and shit. And I had but because of, like, the bleach, and wasn't there even, like, some salt?
Yeah, he leaves. He, like, prances out, and he comes back.
With, like,
when she's crawling, it slows down. Because she's crawling for the phone.
Didn't
so
he
it's
also
all
have
intense.
salt, too?
Yeah, it was salt.
And bleach. Yeah, like, there was a little bit of empathy for me there, just because, like, getting that in an open cut, you know what I mean? Like,
the bleach first, and then rubbing the salt in.
Yeah, like, that got me just a little bit, because I was like, fuck, because you know.
Well, and then the mom coming in.
Yeah.
When he's, like, cutting chunks out of her and shit. And when she starts screaming, he's like, silently laughing at her, you know?
But it was a great movie, dude.
Yes,
I fucking love it.
good.
I'm glad, and
they leaned into the supernatural stuff, and like,
yeah, and he's already up there with, like, he's the modern day.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's already up there with, like, the classic slashers.
Oh, for sure. I've already got plans for. I think I might have showed them to him. Not I will later. I already got plans for fucking, like, traditional style tattoo of art. I want to get yeah, like.
I think you did show me that, but the one thing I will say is, like, I don't understand why people were vomiting, though. Like, I
mean, some people just aren't ready for it. It's like, I feel like that's just those are the people that barely watch horror movies anyway. And the things they have seen are probably like the things in the past 10, 15 years that have come out that are like watered down, like PG-13. And not to say that not some of those movies that did have those ratings were decent films, but on a level of like extreme horror, I think the people that were into those and then they go into this are like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll talk shit about those movies all day, dude. I would say almost every movie that has come out in a mainstream American theater for probably at least the past 10 to 15 years, almost every one.
Like a Hollywood made one.
Yeah, has sucked ass.
Yeah.
Because the studios have been too involved with
Did you get a chance to check out that Polish movie I mentioned?
No, not yet.
What did I say it was called?
Oh,
Nobody Leaves the Woods Alive or
There we
something
go,
like that?
yeah.
Something like that.
Nah, dude. Oh, fuck, though. While we're on it, I need to tell you that I saw the... So, there's a new... It's based on the thing on the doorstep, apparently. And I just found that out. But my buddy thought he had found, like another Lovecraft-based horror movie, and a lot of those are really good.
Yeah.
You know, like Dagon and From Beyond and...
Oh, From Beyond, dude.
Castle Freak.
People can't see my... Oh, you know me in Castle Freak. People can't see my face right now.
Yeah.
But all they need to see is my loins.
Smell your pheromones through the internet. But yeah, like a lot of those are good, man. Like if they got Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs in it, it's usually pretty fucking awesome. You know, but so this movie, it was called Suitable Flesh. It had Barbara Crampton.
Oh, really?
And Heather Graham in it. And apparently it releases next month, and he found out he got a bootleg of it. He didn't, and it wouldn't play on any of his shit.
What, was it good? Oh, it wouldn't play.
It wouldn't play on any of his shit, so he gave it to me. I ended up watching it. It's fucking turd, dude. It is awful. The acting is terrible.
Barbara Crampton's bad?
No, I mean, like Barbara Crampton and Heather Graham do the best they can with the minimal they're given, but it is fucking
Who
terrible.
made it?
No, I don't know. Well, Shudder made it, which also goes to my thing. Dude,
Shudder's got a pretty good record.
I think Shudder kind of sucks. They've got a couple of decent things. They've done a few good originals. They've got
I feel like the originals I watched, the ones I did watch, which I mean they got a ton of originals, but like the ones I did watch were pretty good.
I've seen like one or two decent originals. But
Did you see the one they did about the monster, that weird thing in the fucking woods?
No. But I know that they've got The Last Drive-In, and that's great, but here's my problem with Shudder. Shitty selection. It's fucking awful.
It keeps getting bigger though.
I guess, man, but like the best thing I saw that they had, because I would type in a bunch of movies, they had Near Dark. That was like the only thing I was looking for.
Like,
that
they
I
got
could
a lot.
find.
There's selection of old school stuff is good, dude.
Since
like
when?
Old, like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Because when I looked, I was typing in all kinds of movies. They didn't have any. They didn't have.
Well, last I was on there, they had a lot of really good 70s British horror movies.
Yeah.
And a lot of really good, weird, obscure Japanese horror movies from like the 70s and 80s.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't have like Life Force.
Yeah.
They didn't have like not Evil.
Well, there's so many fucking streaming services now, man. Like you probably can't get the licensing for most of that shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Is like they build themselves as like they've got this huge. Dude, I've got a better fucking horror collection.
I was
sitting
looking
on my
into some
shelf
other
than
stuff.
they do.
I was like, there's a few other horror streaming services, and they kind of vary. Like a couple of them are a little bit cheaper, which I mean, Shudder's not too expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's affordable compared to everybody else. But there was at least two of them that were cheaper, and then one of them was like barely had didn't even have close to the selection of like numbers wise of Shudder, but they were like twice as much a month.
I think I found more shit on Tubi that I wanted to see, or that I
see the way the streaming services have gotten now. I mean, Biz and I have decided that anything we want, we're just going to start always buying physical copies now. Because I kind of laid off of buying physical copies when it came to movies, because you could just find stuff pretty easily. But now that all these streaming services, there's like so many of them, and all of them are like fighting over licenses all the time and shit, and like, oh, you can only watch this here, and then you got to go over here to rent or buy this or watch this, blah blah blah. It's like you got to have a subscription just to watch this one movie you want to see.
Yeah,
it's like fuck it, I'll just order it.
Dude, that you're sort of reaching the conclusion that I reached like that 5-6 years ago, man, because there was a period it's like, fuck, why am I buying all these movies when I can find them almost
Well,
anywhere?
I also went through a phase there too where I was not watching a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like I like fell off watching anything.
Yeah.
Like besides watching MST3K bad movies with them riffing. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like and but once I started getting back into it and I was like and I got Shudder for a while, but I was mainly getting that for Creepshow and Last Drive-In.
Yeah.
And then like then I fell back into wanting to watch horror movies and stuff heavily again. It was like, what the hell, man? You can't. Everybody's got different shit, and you got to pay everybody for it. It's we're back in the cable satellite days.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's I couldn't find what I wanted, man.
We should have figured they would fall back.
Yeah.
They would find a way to do it again. You know what I mean? Like,
But that was the thing, man. I couldn't find like anything I wanted. I couldn't find like Night of the Creeps or fucking. I'm even at Theater Bazaar. There was like a lot of like stuff that I had seen that I don't have physical copies of that I wanted to see. Now, luckily, I found a copy of Near Dark recently.
yeah, it's one is so hard to find. Even like ordering online a physical copy of that I almost bought it, even though Barnes and Noble is so much more expensive than everybody else. They had a fucking copy in their Criterion collection of Basket Case,
I think that was actually.
but it was like $30-something, and I was like, I was really tempted to just get it because it's so hard to fucking find.
I'm trying to remember where I did actually see that. Like that may have been Tubi or something that I saw that on.
But that's one I would own. I like all of them. Have you seen all of them?
I've only seen the first. How many are there?
There's at least 3,
Okay.
maybe 4, but I think there's only 3.
Dude, I don't even think they had Wishmaster, though.
I don't know.
And that's pretty common.
Yeah. I found some, but one of my favorite, really, really, really bad, and I suggest for anybody to watch, and is Winter Beast.
Haven't seen that one.
Terrible.
Is it?
But it's like one of those so bad it's good.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, like there's all this weird fucking stop motion monsters. None of them make sense.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be this Native American curse up in Canada somewhere. It's a classic in my book.
Oh, what was the one? What was the name of the one where it was about the Wendigo and it had the Wendigo and it had I've got it and I can't remember
Wendigo?
the name of it. It had I can't even remember the name of the actor. He was in.
It wasn't Wendigo though.
No, It's the one where the guy gets sent to California. It's got the Scottish guy that shows up in the winter. They nurse him back to health. He said he was attacked by cannibals.
Oh, Ravenous.
Yeah, that one's great.
Guy Pearce and what's his name from Train Spotting and shit.
Yeah. Love that movie.
I can't remember his name right now, but that is a great movie. You can't go wrong most of the time with Guy Pearce or him, but like Guy Pearce especially. Have you seen I saw somebody recently or somewhere, somebody had started it and I saw it, but I was like in a meeting for work and like, but apparently Guy Pearce was on like some version of like the Christmas Carol. And he plays Ebenezer Scrooge, I think.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man, speaking of like obscure 70s stuff, though, have you ever seen Mountain of the Cannibal God?
That sounds really familiar.
It's got Stacy Keach in it, dude. It's fucking awesome. It's such a good cannibal movie. And like it's got like you laugh at like some of the sexism from the 70s in it. Because when the like main lady's she's going on an expedition because her husband went off to find I don't know, some sort of resource in the mountains, and Stacy Keach is like, "You want to go too?" He's like, For a man, it's hard enough. For a woman, it would be nearly impossible." Shit like that.
Wow.
And the uncut version is on YouTube. You can find it, and like they don't have ads for it yet, unless it's been removed. You did not find the uncut version if toward the end you did not get to the pig fucking scene during like the weird like blood orgy.
Weird,
but
sounds nice.
No, dude, it's a fucking fun movie, man.
I want to get on. I kind of wanted to like join the because you know like how Netflix has done for years now. They'll cancel shows for no reason, no matter how popular they are or whatever.
Yeah.
They just, it's like, fuck it. Oh, we want to start something new, so we're canceling this show. So they canceled MST3K, which, even though I love those 2 seasons they did on there, now they're doing the thing on their own site, that Gizmoplex or whatever. I kind of want to join that to see the new, because they've done another season.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're planning another one now, trying to like kickstart for so many episodes. They raise this much, they raise this much, so many episodes. But like, there's another season on the Gizmoplex, and I kind of want to check it out because some people I know that are MST3K fans didn't like it. I guess the new seasons on Netflix because it wasn't the same people. But I thought Jonah was awesome. I thought the guys who did the robots' voices, the new guys, were awesome. The jokes were, well written. Like, some of my favorite episodes are on there. Like fucking Cry Wilderness, that movie, and Star Crash. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, dude, Amy almost broke up with me because we were watching Star Crash. She's like, this is so fucking bad.
Did you watch it without riffing?
No, we watched it with riffing, and it was that bad. She's just like, she almost, we were living back at Fielders and shit, for people that don't know, our buddies.
I love that
episode. She was like so pissed off at how bad that movie was.
Doing the voice for the robot when they're making fun of me. Just love me.
Because I'm not even sure we got through it because she was just like, I'm about to leave you. It's like, all right, goddamn.
I live for bad movies like that.
I do too, man. But that's the thing is like, dude.
And had Carolyn Monroe in it, and she was like super popular during that time. I guess that's the start of the death of her career.
Our bad movie, our bad movie tastes have some overlap, me and her. But she likes a lot of that shit where I don't even think it's so bad it's good.
It's just bad.
It's just bad, like because a lot of hers is like the sci-fi, almost like the sci-fi original movies bad now.
There's a few of those.
But those have got. You're right. There's a few of those, but those have gotten so formulaic.
Yeah,
it's all like the same movie. Now, one we both loved one we both fucking loved to get what?
I'm listening. Waiting.
Sand Sharks.
Oh, okay, that one was good. I was hoping you were going to say the Paul Bunyan one.
Oh no, dude! I did watch that one though. I don't remember if I watched that with her. But the Paul Bunyan one is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that one's good, dude. They kill Blue, and he's like on a revenge.
Yeah. It looks so bad. Dude,
there was one about spiders, too, like in the snow.
Ice spiders?
Yeah.
I've seen that one. Like, some of those are decent, and maybe I shouldn't have maligned those as much, but, like, it's, you know what I mean? There's some that is just, eh.
Yeah.
But, dude, I think what kicked that off, because, I remember back in the day, sci-fi used to try. You know what I mean? Like, you had some stuff I don't even remember. Like, I have vague recollections of really good sci-fi originals.
Yeah.
Because they were on it. They tried. And what kicked it off, I think... And I love it. I've got a copy of it. But I think what kicked off like the really shitty sci-fi originals was Alien Apocalypse with Bruce Campbell.
Oh, that movie is awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I have it. But I think that's what kicked off like everything after.
That movie. I watched that movie one time at work, dude. I think. When I was working with those guys we used to work with. But like, yeah, that movie is awesome. I'd forgotten about that.
Was it them, or was it him on his own that did Man with the Screaming Brain? Because I've got that too, and I love that
I don't think that was sci-fi.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I think that was like some other, like, actual independent production.
That was good. I enjoyed that. Ah, fuck. How much time we at, man?
1 hour and 8 minutes.
Well, I've got several other stories, but we could literally, I could save those.
You can save them if you want. I'm enjoying just chatting.
We could do it. I'm happy being on some of these fun. Dude, oh man. But speaking of but back to that shitty Suitable Flesh movie, which is going to be a Shudder original, avoid it. Dude, Heather Graham's tits didn't even save that movie. The 2 times you see her tits could not save that movie.
Sometimes that's the only thing that saves bad movies.
Yeah, and
Barbara Crampton nigga?
No,
I understand.
It just wasn't good, man.
She did her share of that back in the day.
Yeah. Well, dude, and that's why I thought it would be good because, Barbara Crampton is in a lot of fucking great movies.
Yeah.
And it's like we were talking about, we both love the original Castle Freak. and we were a little skeptical of the Castle Freak remake, which also turned out being fucking phenomenal.
Was that a Shudder original?
I don't think that was a Shudder original.
It was just released on Shudder immediately.
But we were skeptical of it because like we thought, how are you going to remake that fucking amazing movie? And
they did it the right way.
Yeah, well, what gave me hope for it, I was down on it until I heard that Barbara Crampton was going to be a producer. And that's what gave me hope for it. And I know you were still like a lot more skeptical than me. I was
because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Me too, but I thought because that was a bigger movie for her. I mean, it's a cult following or whatever, not big.
Yeah.
It's just
normal. But they did a really good job. I really liked that movie.
It was awesome, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't think she'd attach her name to it as a producer if it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, and they just jumped into the Lovecraftian shit, man.
Oh, dude, the end.
Hardcore.
The end. I love the end because you don't get shit like that usually in Lovecraftian stuff where they actually pull that trigger.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was just straight up, like Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak was just loosely based on The Stranger.
Yeah, because the thing.
I mean, The Outsider.
Something in the castle or something. I can't remember.
Or The Outsider.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
But it's only 5 pages? It's less than 10 pages.
Yeah, and it's him crawling up out of the up. It's underground, whatever he's in.
Yeah,
he comes
the
up
dungeon.
Out of it. And that's what it's about, though, is he sees himself, and he's like, oh, what is this monster? But it's him in a mirror.
Yeah, and then he, goes into that party or something.
Something like that. He sees some people, and, but, that's all it is. It's not much. But, so Stuart Gordon had a lot of liberties he could take, and he turned it into something fucking awesome. But then, so I was like, how are they going to do this? And they just jumped headlong into the eldritch fucking...
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Well, it's the same thing with, From Beyond. From Beyond was... I can't even remember what the original story for that was, but that was based on a really fucking short story.
Kind of vague. Yeah. There's a lot you could build on. Stuart Gordon was great at adapting H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and that was didn't have a whole lot of a ton of story, or you know what I mean. There's and turning it into something
yeah, he was great at expanding H.P. Lovecraft 10 to 30 page stories into a full length movie.
Yeah. It was he was great. Sad he's gone. Yeah. I'm still sad about that.
The Necronomicon was great, with which I if I'm right, I believe Jeffrey Combs is the only actor to play both H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe, because he was H.P. Lovecraft in the Necronomicon, because that was an anthology movie where he was copying stories out of the Necronomicon, and he was H.P. Lovecraft. And then Masters of Horror, Black Cat,
yeah.
He was Edgar Allan Poe. So
I need to watch that again. I haven't seen that.
That was good. I think I might have a copy of that. I've got a few of those.
Oh, man, and Cigarette Burns. I'd like to see that one again.
Cigarette Burns was good. I thought Hakel's Tale was pretty good.
Yeah. Jennifer.
That was good.
Isn't that what it was called? Yeah, Jennifer.
There's a...
That was
wasn't that Argento?
Dario Argento. Cigarette Burns was John Carpenter. And had Norman Reedus. So I mean,
yeah,
that was a good one.
No, yeah, there's a lot of, but dude, I like one that is cheesy, but I thought it was great. Did you ever see The Washingtonians?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I saw it.
Oh, dude, where they move into
this was a Masters of Horror.
Yeah, it's Vermont. Family moves into a Vermont home, and George Washington's home state or whatever, and people are real big about the history of George Washington living there, and he discovers this painting or whatever that proves that George Washington was a cannibal. And it's what? Yeah, it's something to the effect of he finds this note from George Washington behind a painting, and it's something about I will skin your children and eat them and fashion bones from their utensils and shit.
Utensils from their bones?
Utensils from their bones, my bad. Yeah. But dude, whoa, it's fucking awesome. And there's this cannibalistic cult of people that dress
and they're called the Washingtonians?
Yeah, that dress like George Washington.
Nice.
And dude, it's actually fucking horrifying. People in the fucking powdered wigs looking really fucking pale and shit.
Nice.
It's great. I love that.
Can you find the Masters of Horror on anything to watch now?
I don't know, dude. I just always
Who did those?
I can't remember. Did they come on Stars or HBO or something like that?
Maybe.
I can't. It was one of those.
Because I remember watching them like back when like I was living like I think with my dad, like satellite or something.
Yeah, it was one of the higher end cable channels. I can't remember who did them, but I remember I used to just pick them up from like secondhand stores and shit.
You could get collections, right? Like they'd be like one or two or three of them on there or something.
Sometimes, or you could just find like a DVD of them. Like usually it was like if they had more than one, it was two. But usually you were just getting one. I'd go to flea markets and shit.
Incident on a
Mountain Road, I think.
Is that one of them?
Yeah,
that was Stuart Gordon, wasn't it?
I didn't see that one.
I think that was Stuart Gordon.
The screw fly solution was fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, like, because I know Stuart Gordon did one, and I think that might have been
I thought he did a couple. Who did Pelts? The one that had meatloaf in it.
I don't remember.
That one was
Wes
decent.
Craven did a couple, didn't he?
Yeah, that one he had with Robert Englund, sad to say, wasn't that good. Like Dance of the Dead or something. I thought that one kind of sucked.
Grave Dancers?
No, I don't think that's what it was. But I could be wrong. Oh, dude, I tell you, I like some...
What about The Deer Woman? You remember that one?
I didn't see that one. Was that good?
It was pretty good. It was like completely based on the Native American lore of the Deer Woman. She would like seduce men and then like kill them, but she had like deer hoof like legs.
Yeah, that probably was good.
It wasn't that bad. It was pretty good.
Oh man, I tell you, there was a time like the French were putting out some good horror films. Like Inside was great, and I'm trying to remember there was one I think by the same French dudes that did Inside. Inside was awesome, but I tell you a French film that was not fucking good. That was a horror film that a lot of people liked. High Tension. High Tension sucked so much ass.
Yeah, I remember you watching that years ago and not liking it.
Dude, it pissed me off. It's just a Fight Club ending. You know, they're being menaced by this one dude or whatever, comes in to kill the person's family.
But it's her doing it at all?
Yeah, it's just one of the chicks who's being menaced doing it. It's like, oh, great. Yeah, cool.
She's like psycho and doesn't realize what she's doing.
Yeah, I hate that shit so much, dude. Like, oh, it was all in your head. It was this person. Like,
well, you know what's bad? The bad thing about it too is it came out around the time of fucking Fight Club.
I think it came out like 4 years later, dude, or 2.
Yeah, like I mean, it's around the time that's fresh in people's minds.
Yeah,
it's like you're using the same concept.
But so many things do. Like, dude, that's why I didn't like. What was it with Leonardo? Shutter Island. Shutter Island sucked so much. Like there were some good scenes.
I heard they changed a lot from that book, though.
I need to read the book because maybe the
book
was
have
good.
It.
Maybe the book was good, but no, they sit there, dude, and the whole time I'm like, man, if there's really a conspiracy going on and this is cool, you know, like I'm gonna love this movie. But if it ends the way I think it's gonna fucking end, I'm gonna hate this movie. and the way I thought within like the first 30 minutes was like, it's all gonna be in his head or some shit, and there's nothing going on. And yeah, that's what it was. Leonardo DiCaprio's a fucking patient, and they're helping him with some extreme therapy by going along with his delusions.
Like, oh yeah, and he's like picturing this doctor as this as like one of the detectives in this or whatever, like something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And then like, because the German guy, like because I'm a veteran of World War II, this German doctor must be like come the fuck on. But if they were doing weird, creepy shit on the like, that would have been great.
It would have been better, probably.
And then because I predicted it within the first 30 fucking minutes. I knew that shit was going.
Because I think the guy I like a lot, Dennis was it Dennis Leahy?
That directed it or
the writer? He did like Mystic River. You ever seen that movie or read that book?
Is Mystic River the one where with
Sean Penn?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Yeah, like he usually writes movies like that, like Gone Baby Gone and Mystic River. They made movies of a lot of his books, but I think he might have written Shutter Island. But
I like, dude.
I heard that they changed in the movie a lot of stuff. So
and there's still one scene that I really love from that movie where I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy that was Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lamb, the police chief from Monk, where he meets up with him and he gets on like the little. I can't remember what the little vehicle is. If it was a 4-wheel, it couldn't have been a 4-wheeler because it was like the 40s. But they're on the
some kind of cart thing.
Yeah, he said something about like God, like God's gift and violent, and I was like, that was a great scene. But again, ruined by like that shitty reveal.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that sometimes an end can tank a whole movie.
Yeah, that's happened quite a few times for me. There was that happened with me with because I'd never seen Ringu.
Okay.
So when my first experience of that was The Ring.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that. I mean, it was like, I see, like, where else could you have gone with it? Like, so I understand why the ending the way it was when she finally reveals her and she comes out of the TV and stuff. But I don't know if it was the execution or what. But I was having such a good time with that movie and her whole investigation process and trying to fucking figure out what was going on before her days were up with watching the video and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then the ending with the guy that she's like kind of love interest with or whatever in his flat, and he gets killed. And he's the one that's, when it first shows her coming out of the TV and stuff. It just didn't do it for me. Like, I was just like, like my whole excitement just kind of went, and the movie's not terrible, but like, it's the same kind of like thing where it was just like, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get you.
I was expecting obviously some kind of supernatural ghost type shit because it's a curse pretty much from watching this video of whatever was going on with her family and shit back in, because her mother killed her and all that shit. But like, I don't know, it's just for some reason that scene in that guy's flat, or you know, his big studio apartment, and she comes out of the TV and it just like, I don't know what I was expecting, but but it just like tanked it for me. That's one of my earliest remembrances of really getting like disappointed, and it's not even like as bad as High Tension or something like that where it's just like blah. It was like, I understand they're probably going off at least loosely off the Japanese film, but like, also, I mean, what other directions could you really go? Like, I mean, how else is she? I mean, what else is she gonna do? But it just didn't do it for me. Like,
no, it's understandable, man. I forget. How did you feel about Predators? I think it was Predators with Adrian Brody.
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it as much as you.
Yeah,
because I know you said Adrian Brody just didn't even though he's a good actor, he didn't.
No, he's a great actor.
Didn't come off as that character well for you.
I love him in Houdini, like that History Channel Houdini thing that they did, the little mini. He's fucking awesome.
Son of Sam.
He's a great actor, but dude, I could not like. Well, first of all, like don't get me wrong.
Him as like the mercenary character.
Yeah, dude, him as the mercenary was just so fucking bad.
Even when you realize why he was there is because he was like kind of a like dirty fucking
it's still
shit mercenary,
yeah,
like
but
an asshole.
It's bad because he's doing the stereotypical action hero voice, and he got a little jacked, like he's a little shredded.
He was in good shape for him though, I'd say.
Yeah,
because he's usually skinny as a rail.
But it's not fucking believable, dude, because the whole time, and I've never run into this before, really. He's just sitting there like, oh, I can kick, like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I can kick his fucking ass. The whole movie I'm sitting there thinking, I can kick this motherfucker's ass. I ain't kicking a Predator's ass.
You know, one thing I did like about that movie was Topher Grace's character.
Yeah.
Being like, they didn't understand why he was there, and he was like a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then like, the dog things. I liked the hunting dog things that the Predators had.
I liked Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Yeah, he was
being left over.
He was really good at being like a nut case.
Well, the idea of the Yakuza guy was kind of cool, but that little scene that was so poorly like CG done where they have the fucking duel where they come at each other with the blades like it's a samurai film.
Yeah.
Great fucking concept. Executed poorly.
Yeah.
Really fucking bad.
Did he just kill him or did he do harakiri?
I think he killed him because I think eventually they did that thing where they pause like after they rush at each other so you see which one dies.
Yeah, I know it. I know what I'm thinking of with the harakiri. I'm thinking of the fucking game The Forest. There's a part in that game where you find a body of a guy who's from a crash, another plane. I think it's another plane crash, but he's there and you find a katana blade there with him, but he's on his knees and he's done he's done like harakiri or whatever what is the other
Seppuku.
Word? Yeah.
Well, see, that's why, like, the reason I say I've never run into that, because it sticks out in my mind, because I remember we were watching. What's the original? Not Glass, but it's got Bruce Willis in it.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Yeah, we were watching that shit, and
I like that movie.
Yeah, I like it too. It's good. I haven't seen Glass and Split, but
I heard Split was good.
I want to check them out. But I remember watching that shit with my dad, and Bruce Willis is like lifting weights or whatever. He's like, "Dude, I've never been able to buy this guy as an action star." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look at him." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I can beat the shit out of that guy." Like I do not buy this.
Well, the thing that's cool about Bruce Willis is he wasn't your typical action star usually in his action movies. You know what I mean? Like Die Hard, like he was kind of at a disadvantage the whole time, and he was like.
Oh, I don't have a problem with Bruce Willis. He needs to be saying this shit to my dad.
Yeah, I get what he's saying because he probably prefers for those type of action movies like the action star, you know, like whereas like Bruce Willis's stuff is a little bit more comical and and he's a lot of times like an underdog kind of disadvantage, but he's still a badass at the same time. You know what I mean? Like Unbreakable was cool because it was like that was just a cool concept. Like somehow all of a sudden. Real life has brought superheroes.
Dude, the other thing that I remember from that movie that killed me is they put that statistic up where it's like the average comic book collector has like 2,000, something between like 2 or 5,000 books, and then my dad's like, I've got 10,000. He's like,
He's
whatever,
above average.
Yeah, whatever the fucking number was, Dad had like triple it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
I beat that easy.
And that was like when I was like 12, so I don't know what it
And everybody hates Signs, and I liked Signs.
Signs is decent. Like, really, Signs was big for the time.
A lot of people fucking hate that movie.
Well, don't get me wrong. What's his face? Why can't I remember the name of the guy? What a twist! What's the dude who
Shyamalan?
Yeah. I mean, he's done some good ones, but he's done some shitty ones because what was
but that was during his rise. His rise, and he was just kept making great movies.
Oh, but
The Village really disappointed you.
That's the one. Yeah, I hated that one because that was another one where it was like, oh look.
I mean, it was I think that's another example of a good twist, but it wasn't executed well at the end.
Yeah, I guess it could have been a good twist, but it.
You know what I mean? Like,
really took me out of that movie.
I would have rather it just been weird monsters.
Yeah. Or that you could have had, or maybe like some subtle plotting to where you could slowly figure out, because it seemed all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That like, oh look, we're actually in modern times.
I just love this. I fucking love. That's one of my favorite of his movies, Signs. Like I love the pacing of it, and just the weird awkwardness all the fucking time. It's like it's constantly, and like I think it's because it's Mel Gibson and fucking Joaquin Phoenix, and they do such a good job of that.
Yeah, they play off each other real well.
Yeah.
The aliens are cool because they're understated and you don't see much of them.
Yeah,
which builds tension. Oh man, I tell you one that I feel. I think it was liked critically, and I've seen people that I love it. Like The Witch. I think The Witch was fucking awesome.
I watched that once. I need to watch that again.
Dude, I love it, but I've tried to show it to like several people, and every one of them was like, I can't get into it, man. The language.
What was it, A24 or something?
I don't remember who did it. But
they're the same people who did like Midsummer and, right? And, what else?
I need to watch Midsummer, but the problem with that for me, like, is like, I've already seen the original, not the Nicolas Cage one, but the original Wicker Man. Mm-hmm. And that to me is the quintessential. Like,
is there an old Midsummer?
No. I'm just saying, like, that's the like, I know what they're doing. They're doing folk horror. You know what I mean? And the Wicker Man is like the gold standard.
I've heard Midsummer's good. But
I have too. I'm sure it is. But it's one of those things where it's just like, why? I don't. Why?
You know, here's a good one that's all like psychological that I really enjoyed and I thought was great was The Babadook.
I enjoyed that. That was decent.
Yeah.
Did you know that The Babadook has become like a gay icon?
Has he?
I can't remember.
I thought it was funny
but like
on
the gay community has like latched on to, like, I think it started out too as like a meme. And
they just use him now?
Now the Babadook is like a
That's
gay
pretty awesome
icon.
though, because Babadook's cool as hell. I like his look and everything. And like, also I thought it was funny on one episode of What We Do in the Shadows when they had that big party at their house. There was a Babadook there, and one of the Chinese jumping vampires.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that reminds me, man, because I think it would be a good idea for... It'd be fun to explore in something, but it would be more comedic, so it'd be good for, like, what we do in the shadows. But if you're an immortal, there's a point where the age gap doesn't matter so fucking much. So if you think about it, like, let's say you're a vampire, but you're 35, right? And you have a kid who's born a vampire, you know, so they'll age normally or whatever. And now you're 350, which means your kid is 315, wouldn't it be? Yeah. So then you're still treating him like he's a fucking kid. Like, the age gap doesn't matter. You're barely older than that dude in the grand scheme of things. Like, I like the idea of, like, somebody like, now remember, I'm older than you. Yeah, but like 25, fucking 300, Dad.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like about. That's what I've always liked about the concept of what we do in the shadows. Obviously, is they've become so. They've been around so long that they've just become blah to everything. So they're just like.
Well, yeah, but some of the age gap with them actually is still like, because like Nandor has seen, like,
Nandor's old. Yeah,
yeah, he's old.
That's just like in the movie.
Yeah,
Peter, the one that turned the youngest guy.
Yeah,
in the group, he's like 8,000 years old. Like, and every picture he's like Nosferatu just sitting with them. And like throughout the ages, they're in like 60s and 70s garb, and then like 80s garb, and it's always Peter just sitting there in his black outfit. I loved Peter, dude.
Oh man,
I love when he's like, "It's the monster, something swooped down at me as I was saying he's making a delivery into town or something." He's like, "I felt it sink its fangs into my neck and tell me that something I don't know about, some like weird like cryptic thing about being a vampire." And I looked up and it was Peter. He's sitting next to him. I'm gonna have to watch that movie now, but I guess it's a good place to wrap.
Yeah. It became a complete fuck around. Which,
oh yeah,
hey, whatever.
I mean, we had some good articles though. So, and this is what we do. So, next time
on
on Horselick Review.
Next time on Horselick Review, will Nathan achieve the ultimate transformation? Find out.